General Hospital spoilers reveal that I can honestly say the current chapter has my heart racing in a way I haven't felt in quite some time. Jason has always been that steadfast presence, the quiet hero who steps up when no one else will, and watching Steve Burton bring him to life has been one of the great joys of my television years. His temporary departure hit me hard, but the way the story is unfolding now, with all these fresh adjustments and surprising turns, has me more excited than worried. The writers seem to understand exactly what longtime fans like me cherish most: deep family ties, protective instincts that cross generations, and the kind of high-stakes drama that keeps us coming back day after day. The latest developments have centered so powerfully on young Danny, and I find myself both proud and deeply concerned for the boy. He blames Sidwell for everything that happened to his father, and who could blame him? After overhearing that conversation tying Sidwell directly to Jason's removal, Danny has thrown himself into investigating the man's crimes with a determination that reminds me so much of Jason at that age, headstrong, loyal, and unwilling to sit idly by while his family suffers. It's a new kind of obsession taking hold, one that feels raw and personal, and it's proving to be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it shows how much Danny has grown and how fiercely he loves his dad. On the other, he's stepping into a dangerous league if he thinks he can match wits with someone as cunning and ruthless as Sidwell. I keep asking myself whether this bold move will bring him closer to his father or pull him into trouble he's not yet ready to handle, and the early signs suggest the latter is brewing fast. What really has me on the edge of my seat is what Danny discovered while listening in on that exchange between Willow and Sidwell. The connection he uncovered between them adds an entirely new layer of complexity to an already tangled web. Willow has been navigating her own complicated path lately, and this secret link raises so many questions about trust, hidden motives, and how far certain people will go to protect their interests. Danny holding on to that information feels like a ticking clock, one that could explode at any moment and change alliances across Port Charles. It's the kind of twist that proves the show is adjusting its course beautifully, keeping the focus on the next generation while honoring the legacy characters we've loved for decades. This isn't just filler, it's explosive storytelling that demands Jason's presence even while he's physically away. And then there's the growing danger surrounding Drew and Scout. The threats circling them feel immediate and personal, feeding directly into this new surge of tension that has the whole canvas heating up. Danny's obsession with uncovering Sidwell's secrets is making his own situation spiral faster than anyone expected, turning what started as a teenager's quest for justice into something far more perilous. The disaster building around Danny is exploding with more intensity than I've seen in recent storylines, pushing everything further and raising the stakes in ways that feel both thrilling and necessary. It's as if the writers recognize the need for this adjustment to accelerate the urgency so that Jason's eventual return lands with even greater impact. I've watched enough arcs over the years to spot when a recalibration like this happens, and this one feels right on target, different from past mob entanglements or disappearances because it ties so tightly to the children and their futures. What touches me most as a grandmotherly figure to these characters in my mind is how Alexis is stepping up so strongly. She sees the storm clouds gathering around Danny and won't hesitate to act, especially with threats coming from both Sidwell and Cullum. Her determination to shield her grandson from their attacks shows how much everything is truly changing in Port Charles. Alexis has always been a force, fierce, intelligent, and deeply loving, and right now she represents that steady anchor so many of us longtime viewers rely on. Her involvement proves the story isn't drifting. It's converging toward protection, family loyalty, and the kind of reckonings that make General Hospital special. Will she be able to pull Danny back from the edge before Sidwell's retaliation hits? From the momentum building, I believe she'll find a way, perhaps with help from unexpected allies, because that's what this show does best. It brings people together when the darkness threatens to overwhelm. Meanwhile, the original thread with Cullum still simmers in the background, adding another layer of heat to Jason's situation in Jakarta. Cullum's fixation hasn't faded, and the way it intersects with Danny's actions creates this perfect storm of danger. Jason taking the fall to protect Rocco was pure classic Jason, selfless and immediate, and now that choice is rippling outward, touching everyone from the boys to their wider families. Steve has been so gracious about his break, confirming on the podcast that he'll be back filming in June and on our screens by July or early August, and I feel in my bones that the timing couldn't be better. The show is smartly accelerating certain threads, so his return feels earned and explosive rather than convenient. Jason won't just walk back into a calm town, he'll step into a fire that needs his steady hand to guide it. I've seen storylines come and go, some that tested our patience and others that became instant classics, and this current adjustment stands out because it respects the heart of what makes Jason Morgan enduring. It's not letting the plot wander too far without him. Instead, it's building the pressure around his son and the people he loves, ensuring that when he does return, the payoff will be deeply satisfying. The new explosive shifts involving Danny's investigation, the overheard revelations about Willow and Sidwell, the dangers to Drew and Scout, and Alexis's protective resolve all point to a chapter that's hotter and more interconnected than anything we've had in a while. Things are moving forward faster with higher emotions and bigger consequences, and it leaves me counting the days until Jason can come home and help set things right. As someone who has shared so many milestones with these characters' weddings, losses, births, and redemptions, I feel genuinely invigorated by where we're headed. The heat in Port Charles right now is palpable, the kind that makes each episode appointment television. Danny's growing obsession, the shocking links being uncovered, and the gathering threats create this wonderful sense of momentum that pulls you in and refuses to let go. I have no doubt that the writers are crafting something special here, different from the original paths we might have imagined, yet true to the spirit that has kept me watching all these years. Jason's return will be the catalyst that turns this building storm into something unforgettable, and I, for one, will be right here with my cup of tea, cheering every step of the way. The beauty of General Hospital has always been its ability to evolve while holding on to what matters most: love, loyalty, and the quiet strength of people like Jason. Right now, with Danny pushing boundaries, Alexis fighting for her family, and the shadows of Sidwell and Cullum lengthening, we're in for some of the most compelling television the show has offered in ages. The adjustments feel fresh and urgent, the dangers real and personal, and the anticipation for what comes next is simply delicious. Whatever twists lie ahead, I trust the journey because I've seen this town weather worse and come out shining. Port Charles is alive with possibility, and I couldn't be more grateful to still be part of it after all this time. The best days are unfolding right before our eyes, friends, and I'm savoring every single one